Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here. I want to apologize off the bat here for not streaming this week's beta changes on the build today. I was stuck at a car dealership all day trying to figure out what's wrong with my car and all this stuff. It's been a headache. If you don't know about that saga, don't worry about it, but TLDR, I apologize. But nonetheless, today's video is going to be looking at the changes that hit Warlock in this week's beta build. An AF change, a Destro change, and a Soul Harvester change, which actually make a pretty big difference across the board for how the spec is going to play, how they path talent-wise, and all of that. So, today, reviewing all that. I heard that some bugs are fixed as well. I have not yet reviewed Demonology to see if they fixed the bugs in the bottom of the tree. If they did, that means that this week we're going to get the demo beta overview video out, which we've been putting off for a few days. So, fingers crossed for all that, but in general, I'm pretty happy with today's changes. Quick heads up, the War Within Beta Warlock Spreadsheet will indeed be going live, probably is live, whenever this video launches. If you guys are interested in early access to that, the Tier 3 Failure Rank of Patreon or higher does indeed get early access to that. And also, if any of you guys seen the Wiki Wars add-ons like in the video you want for free, links to my Twitch and Discord down below, where they are all, well, free for you guys. So all that being said, let's jump into it, looking at the changes, talent pathing, and then look at the new Soul Harvester in combat. Alrighty, so getting into the lock changes, there are really only 3 that hit today, but the big one for hero talents is Soul Harvester. So they've changed the way Shadow of Death works. Shadow of Death, for those I don't know, is the capstone ability right here. Let me hide this because people are crazy in chat. So this is it. Now, this capstone used to say whenever you cast your Tyrant, and whenever you spent shards when it was active, you would basically get a succulent. It would summon the demonic soul. It would do damage, all that kind of stuff, right? Whenever you spent shards, so it encouraged essentially one shard hand of cooldown cycling and sequencing, like we had for Nether Portal, which we tested last stream. It seemed to be a little better than just spending normal hand of cooldown cast during your Tyrant. To a similar extent, when it came to Affliction, because Soul Harvester is Affliction and Demonology, it encouraged you spending shards, obviously during your Soul Rot, which you're going to do, but it sort of pushed you away a bit from Oblivion gameplay if you pop it during your Rapture window, because Rapture, obviously Rapture costs a shard, Oblivion costs 2 soul shards, so you were essentially losing like 2 soul shards you could have put into a Rapture window, right? So it makes things sort of awkward, but at the same time, the change that it does now, where it basically just says, hey, you get 2 succulent souls when your demonic soul empowers your Soul Rot. Whenever you cast Soul Rot, you get 2 succulent souls. Whenever you cast your Tyrant, you get 2 succulent souls. At the same time, your demonic soul basically gives you a succulent soul every 30 seconds. In addition to having a sort of a chance to proc a soul here in general, allowing you to detect if a soul is succulent and all that kind of stuff, right? So you have an RNG chance here, you have a guaranteed chance once every 30, and whenever you cast your Soul Rot every minute, or your Tyrant for Demonology every minute, you also get 2 succulent souls being guaranteed. So overall, a good change there. Being honest, man, Blizz has really caught on to a lot of like little awkward like rotational things when it comes to like that. Oh, well, they don't want to play Oblivion if you're playing Affliction Soul Harvester because of, you know, how the way Shadow Death works. Cool, change that. 1 shard hand and cycling. Oh, cool, we can change that to make it work, right? So this change is good rotationally. It makes things better. Feels good. It's probably gonna feel good. I haven't tested it yet in combat. You're gonna look at it here in a minute with me, but I like it overall. Solid change. And we will see where it goes. I think Soul Harvester compared to Hellcaller and Diabolus is still probably the worst of all 3, but it was bugged last time. I heard the bugs are fixed, so we're gonna look at that in a minute here and see. But either way, good change overall. I like it. A bit of RNG with some consistency, having a shard every half a minute, and your Tyrant and Soul Rot giving you 2 as well. Satiel's Ambition has been renamed to Wicked Reaping, and Mantle the Harvester has been renamed to Satiel's Volition. I guess it has. Satiel's Ambition was here. There's Wicked Reaping now, and here is Volition. So yep, and I believe these are, I tested it, this is working, and this is also working now, so that is a positive. We'll see how the rest of it looks in a minute here. The other changes that hit, the chance for Ravenous Afflictions to activate has been increased. So Ravenous Afflictions is this. Now, when it comes to playing Hellcaller, there's not a whole lot of synergy with Ravenous Afflictions and giving you, whenever you get a Nightfall proc, right? If you get one as Hellcaller, sure, you'll spend it, it's fine. Free Shadow Bolt, free Drain Soul, whatever. But the big power when it comes to having Nightfall-based effects is around Soul Harvester, right? I mean, there's a million things to proc Nightfall. Haunt Grass Nightfall. Consuming Nightfall activates Shared Fate or Feast of Souls. Consuming Nightfall feeds the demonic entity at this thing, right? Nightfall damage increase. Nightfall is Soul Harvester. This talent here, before this week's build, had a 0.4 proc rate per minute, I believe. Let me double check here. I believe it was 0.4. Let me find THG's DM because he's a smart boy and found it for me. Yes, indeed. It was a 0.4 proc per minute. It is now 1.2. So they've essentially buffed it by what, 300%. 1.2 is not incredibly high, but Nightfall synergy, all that, and how strong Nightfall based effects and things are with this build. Let me zoom in for y'all because I can barely read that myself. It looks to be very strong, and hopefully it helps hold Soul Harvester together even more. We're gonna play it here, and see how it is. But that is that. And when it comes to destruction, the final change here for Warlock, Summon Infernal now paths to Eradication, into Reverse Entropy, or Internal Combustion. Now this might seem like no big deal, whatever, but this was the main point of feedback we had outside of Rifts being underpowered for Destro last week, because the awkward part was these two nodes, like lines right here, these two connections weren't here. So you had to path through Flashpoint to get down here to Entropy, or through, Fire and Brimstone, one of the two. I was playing a build like this in single target where I really wanted to get my final CDF empowerment here, the one that makes it do more damage and reduces cast time. But I couldn't get it because I had to put a point here to get Entropy or IC. Chances are high IC is better, but I want to play this because it's alpha or it's beta. I don't care about IC. And I just said, and we all said, just connect Infernal to these in a similar fashion to how these are all connected. And this tree is pretty dang solid. Lo and behold, this week, oh cool, it now connects. So no longer are you pathing through Flashpoint or this to get to Backlash, to get to Entropy or IC here regardless. You can put it in Demon Fire Mastery, full CDF empowerment. This tree feels pretty good. Now, yes, Flashpoint is relevant in single target, I guess, when you're pulling a boss above 80% health, but realistically, it's rank 1 Flashpoint. There are 2 ranks on retail. Rank 2 is 4%, 8, and 12. This is 2, 4, 6. Flashpoint should likely probably just be the rank 2 rank at rank 1. That makes sense, and War Within, like 4, 8, 12 at one point. But I don't really want this in single target. It's pretty mediocre. And at the same time, this ability right here, Abyssal Dominion, let me change over here, too many hero talents. This ability right here, it seeds their demise. This one also grants you Flashpoint stacks whenever you have a Blackened Soul tick, whatever, a chance to get it, right? So I've rolled pretty high overall Flashpoint percentage uptime by just playing seeds, right? This used to grant Orpheum procs, it's now just Flashpoint, but between the pathing into here like this and this giving Flashpoint stacks, I'm not playing it in single target. Even when it comes to AoE, you can also now path, I wasn't really pathing it in the first place for this, but now there's not even a reason to in the first place. I mean, there could be a world where you want it in AoE, but realistically, I'd rather have a faster CDF channel, rather have other effects here and there. And honestly, Fire and Brimstone, with how strong our tier bonus is, giving Incinerate, crit chance, all that kind of stuff. My Incinerate's crit like 70% of the time currently. It's actually really insane. Fire and Brimstone's very, very good. You can path around Flashpoint and base get rebuild, which might just be a, maybe we should buff Flashpoint kind of point. But either way, this pathing change is great. The AF change for Ravenous Afflictions, also pretty solid, giving you a much higher proc chance on the ability versus before. And Soul Harvest change, also pretty cool. So let's look at that briefly in combat. All right, so I am playing Soul Harvester AF here. I have not even done this one time. This is my first run of this. You're going to see it live as long as I don't scuff it here after we record this part of the video. So the big thing here with Soul Harvester, they have changed Shadow Death again to now give you a Succulent Shard every half a minute while you're in combat. Whenever you cast your Soul Rot or Tyrant for Demonology, you gain 2 Succulent Souls whenever cast, guaranteed. There are some guaranteed souls plus, a guaranteed soul every half a minute, and then RNG of random shards also empowering it. They've also fixed this bug. This now works. They fixed this bug. This also now works to buff one of these abilities or proc this, all kinds of kind of stuff. And Ravenous Afflictions, once again, has been buffed to a 1.2 proc chance per minute, up from 0.4. So we're going to smack this dummy here. This is the build I'm playing. You can likely play Oblivion here. It's probably worth it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I spent all my 10 points on here. You can likely play Oblivion regardless. Here, I'll do this. Oblivion. Because you're no longer essentially having to, Rapture's not as emphasized during your windows anymore when you're rapturing because of the change to Shadow of Death and having Soul Rot whenever you spend shards, whenever you rapture during your Soul Rot, all that stuff, summon your dude anymore, right? Now it's just like, oh, cool. You have 2 empowered guaranteed shards. Besides that, spend shards as you want. So let's go into this and see what we can do. So we're going to open up here. I'm going to precast a Haunt into a UA. Pets on aggressive. Cool, we're good to go. Current segment, we are. Cough twice for the road. Haunt, UA, Agony, Corruption. I am playing AC here. I should be playing Siphon Life, but I forgot to change. Don't really care. 2 Shadow Bolts to put up our buffs here. Singularity, Soul Rot, Dark Glare, Trinket. I'm going to Rapture. There's my guy. There's my guy. There are the empowered shards. Going to Rapture some more here. Haunt, giving me a Nightfall stack. Going to dump that. Going to dump my Oblivion here. I still have Nightfall stacks here. Very cool to see. Going to Rapture again. Haunt. Going to Rapture again. Rapture again. And look at the duration of my dots here. Just lasting forever due to both Malign Omen and my Dark Glare being outlasting an actual eternity. Rapturing again there. And just besides, look at the Nightfall procs here. Proc, Rapture, Rapture. So many Nightfall procs with Haunt being a guaranteed refresh or guaranteed, I guess, stack of Nightfall. Feels super good to play. And you can see also when you get Nightfall stacks like, let me see if we can get one here. Cast this Haunt. My dude will spawn whenever I cast the effect, right? There he is. They fixed that bug, right? So it's working now. Cool to see. We're gonna dump this 1 Rapture here. Gonna watch our dots. We have Soul Rot in about 8 here. Just gonna refresh my Agony here. Rapture once, not over cap. Refresh my UA a little early. I'll Shadow Bolt once. Cast a Haunt for a guaranteed Nightfall effect. There it is. Soul Rot. Pop this. 2 Succulent Shards being guaranteed. Rapture, Rapture. Dumping all these. Watching my actual Nightfall here. Gonna dump one there. Get my Oblivion. And chances are high when you're playing Soul Harvester, you likely want an Oblivion on cooldown. I'm just holding it here because I'm doing it with Hellcaller and all that, but you haven't really fully figured out where you want Oblivion exactly. It'll likely be a sim thing if you want to hold it for your 1 minute Malevolence window as Hellcaller, or if you want to pop it on cooldown, or if it's Soul Harvester versus, Hellcaller, or Soul Harvester versus Hellcaller based. But either way, I can tell you right now, I have not played this yet at all. This is the first time I'm hitting this dummy at all, playing his version of the spec. This feels good. You've got a lot of Nightfall procs. The damage is definitely higher here than it was before. It's not as high as Soul Harvest or Hellcaller is overall, but I mean, Rapture 16, Shadow Bolt 15. Also, we are indeed playing 1 point here in Virtuosity, not 2. Or I want to with this version of, AF. Either way, let's find that again. Where'd it go? There we go. Rapture being 16, Shadow Bolt 15.2, Oblivion 9.0, max tick of Oblivion 1.3 million essentially, max Rapture being 1.2 million, UA 151, Agony Corruption, Shadow Bolt Volley here, still doing a lot of damage, Soul Anathema right here, and my Demonic Soul sitting right here. So less Anathema damage, less Demonic Soul damage, but they've shifted more damage with these guaranteed Succulent Souls and things to Rapture in a sense, right? I guess a bit of yes and no, but Succulent Soul empowers your next Rapture, reducing its cost by 1, increasing damage by 20%, and unleashing your soul to damage, right? So having those 2 guaranteed Succulent Shards whenever you cast your Soul Rot and everything gives you more, larger Rapture windows, more Raptures being cast because they cost no shards, they empower the damage of the Raptures, all that. So this Soul Harvester feels incredibly synergistic. A million Nightfall effects. When Nightfall procs, you get this procking at times, or you get this, or you get this, or you get this. Hellcaller feels synergistic too, but also has raw power. You hit a button, more haste, more damage. But these changes to Soul Harvester make it really exciting. I actually enjoyed that a lot. I've only done it 1 time. That was super sick, right? Overall uptime here, let me see here. There's Succulent Souls, 30% uptime. I got 7 Succulent Souls there over about a minute and a half, probably a minute 20, give or take. Crescendo, I had 6, I had more than that. I had 13, I think, overall effects, not really sure. Nightfall, look at that, 10 and 8. And applications and refreshes, actually super high. And here's the tier bonus for AF from this tier as well, right? So, honestly, this version of AF feels super synergistic. With the bugs being fixed, with Wicked Reaping, I believe Cuitus, how you pronounce this, also being fixed now too. It might have been fixed last build. This feels good. I want to test more this week and probably tomorrow, or just today, this video comes out on stream and see where it's at. But this feels like, how do I say this? It feels proper. It feels like how it should have felt, I see their vision for Soul Harvester now with the bugs being fixed and Nightfall proccing so often and all that. And I like it. So, like always, thanks for watching, guys. Wraps it up. And if you had any questions about the changes that hit today, this week's build of beta, or for, Warlock stuff and all that, hopefully this video answered those questions. Like I said, man, I think Destro's tree is actually really solid pathing-wise. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple things change with, like, dimensional rifts, more damage and all that. That's more numerical stuff. The pathing looks good overall. I'm happy with it. Even Demo's pathing looks pretty good overall. Some things here and there could be a little different, but honestly, I'm very happy with them, and we're going to see where it goes. Affliction's Gate 2 part, still a little interesting. Hopefully some changes come there, but honestly, if not, just on being real, it still feels like a lot of fun to play. And I got to say it, man. I mean, Lock, it still feels great to play. Hitting Malevolence feels great in general. The rotations feel smooth. They feel fast. It's solid. A massive improvement from what we've had for, I guess, the course of Dragonflight. So, like always, if you guys want any week warriors add-ons on the video, links to Twitch and Discord down below are for free for you guys. At the same time, a massive shout out to my patrons. Try that again. For all the support on Patreon. Thank y'all a million times. I really appreciate it. If you're looking at supporting on Patreon, it should be a link up here, as well as down below in the video description. And heads up, the War Within Beta Warlock Spreadsheet has indeed gone live. The Tier 3 Belgar rank or higher of Patreon gets early access to that if you're interested in it. And yeah, should be a link up here, as well as down below in the description if you are interested in looking into that. Now, we're getting into like week 3 of beta. We have heroic testing Thursday and then mythic testing on Friday of the raid. And I'd venture to guess in the next build, like next week, probably see a lot of numerical tuning coming in. Hellcaller seems to be ahead of Diabolist or Diabolist, whatever, by a little bit. Soul Harvester feels like pretty weak still compared to their two, but at the same time, a lot of synergies with it, and also a lot of bug fixes hit today, so I'm not even sure if it's fully functional or not, but either way, they all feel good to play. They're all fun, and like I said earlier, Lock just feels good. It casts smoothly, it flows fluently. I've been enjoying it, so hopefully you guys have been too. All that being said, thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit the like and sub buttons below, helps out a ton, and I'll catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.